Alright, so before I get into the story that you're gonna want to listen to because it's actually a good story, let me know what you think about it afterwards. You can like comment or whatever, like the video if you like it, subscribe if you want to subscribe, and I don't know, man, do whatever you want to do. You can say things in the comment section, you know. But other than that,
you got me, I got ya. Mi casa, su casa. Even through our 70s like Donna.
Alright, well here I am again telling another story of something that's happened in my life, and I don't know if it's weirder that I'm recording this video or weirder that you're watching it, but I promise it's a good story, so just listen up. Yeah, I was gonna tell a story of, it's so weird to even say, but the night that I got stuck in a water slide with 5 guys and we were all naked. A lot of people that know me like already know this story or whatever, but for those of you that haven't heard it or the people that don't know me, here it is. Alright, so this night started off pretty normal. It was just me and 5 of my friends, and we were just bored one like summer night and just wanted to go out and do something. So we were thinking of ideas, let's go do this or that, or cause ruckus over there or over here. And then, I don't know, all of a sudden we came down to the idea of, let's sneak into a water park and let's go swimming in it. And we're all like, sick, let's do it. And so this night started off around probably midnight, I'd say. So we were deciding where we're gonna do this at, whether it was gonna be a pool or lake or pond or whatever. And then we're just thinking of ideas and Google searching where there's pools around. So we came to the conclusion that we were gonna go to this water park that was probably like 10-15 minutes from us, and we're like, all right, that's perfect. So we get to the water park, and yes, I mean, even though we were completely stupid for this whole entire story that I'm about to explain, we were trying to be smart in the sense of not getting caught. So we get to the water park and we're like, all right, let's just scope it out, see what's around or whatever, if there's like security cameras and all this or whatever. And there wasn't too much security or whatever, but there actually was a cop car in the parking lot of the water park that we were about to sneak into. But the thing is, where he was parked and where the water park was, there's a row of bushes like 10 feet tall, and they're really dense, so he couldn't actually see into the water park. And I think, you know, when cops just sit in parking lots and they're like probably doing paperwork because they just got done doing something on a call or whatever. But so he was probably doing that, or maybe he was security for there, or I don't know. There was a cop the whole entire time this was going down. Keep that in mind, like literally 150 feet, 200 feet away from us in a parking lot just chilling. But so we walked around the perimeter of the water park. We're like, all right, where are we gonna hop in it? And we found a good spot where, you know, people couldn't really see us or anything like that, and where it was the easiest spot to get into. So the only hard thing about this was the fact that there was like 10-foot fences, but we're like, all right, whatever, we're just gonna have to climb them. So we're climbing up these fences. Even though this situation went really bad really quick, this was still one of the most fun nights of my life. We get into the water park and we're just like, we have a whole entire water park to ourselves, like, and it's midnight and it's closed down, everything. Dude, let's just go crazy and jump in all the pools and just have a blast. So that's exactly what we did. We went around to this pool, that pool, the diving boards. As we're just like going around the water park and stuff, we're like, dude, let's go in the lazy river. And they still had all their like floaty things out in the big pile they put them in. So we all just grab a giant floaty thing and we're like, all right, let's go into the lazy river. And so we're all just chilling, like, you know what I mean, like when you're on those floaty things in a pool, like this, like that, when you're floating in a pool. Yeah, we're going around the lazy river, and like the lazy river was pretty decently big at this one, so I'd say it took like 10-15 minutes to get around the whole thing, like if you weren't like paddling through it. But so we go around, I'd say like twice or whatever. We're just like going around. So this was probably 40 minutes into us being there. But so one of the friends that I was with, he was right next to me floating in the lazy river, and then all the rest of them were behind us. He had the great idea where he was like, this is all fun and whatever, but like, wouldn't this be even better to just get naked? I mean, he didn't say that. This is kind of how it happened. He was like, and took his clothes off and didn't say anything, but like, I'm pretty sure that's what he was thinking. So he takes his clothes off in the lazy river and he's just floating there all naked as ever, and I'm just like, all right. So I took off my clothes and we're all like, yo, we're going skinny dipping, and like everyone else just joins along and everyone's like, all right, sick. And they take off their clothes or whatever, throw them on the side, and we're all just like laughing and having a good time because we're floating around a lazy river at midnight. We have the whole water park to ourselves. We're young and dumb, and that's like the coolest thing you could do. But so we're going around the lazy river, and then we get off our little floaty things or whatever, and we're just like, yeah, let's go skinny dipping now in all the pools since we already went around to all the pools. And then we do that, go around to all the pools, and we're just skinny dipping. It's just a jolly old time. Like, it was the bomb. But so after we tried it, literally like 95% of the things in the water park, we're like, all right, now we got to go onto the water slides. And we're like, let's not even go down these small ones, because there was like, you know, little kid slides and stuff. We're like, let's just go straight to the biggest one. We have the whole place to ourselves. I mean, why not? Like, let's go to the biggest one. So we start climbing the steps, and we get to the top. So some water slides are like a half cylinder, you know, but this one is a completely closed slide. So you got to keep some of these things in mind when I'm telling this, because it adds a lot to the story. So yeah, this water slide is closed. It's midnight, and inside the slide, it's pitch black, like 100%. And on top of that, the water wasn't running at all, and we didn't know that. Actually, rewind a little bit. So when we just got out of the lazy river and decided to go up there, we're like, all right, yeah, we're still wet or whatever. Even if the slide isn't on, like, we'll just go down, like, but that's not what happened. So we're standing at the base of the slide, and we're like, all right, well, who's going in first? And so my brother decides to go in first. And so he's like getting ready to like just, you know, like launch himself off like the top of the thing, you know, at water parks where you just like kind of like slingshot yourself. And so he goes in. I mean, he just disappears into the darkness because it's midnight and stuff and it's closed. All of us are like, sick, he went in already, like let's go in after him. So literally right as he goes in, we all just like follow, just one after the other. There was not enough water on our bodies to make that slide wet enough to get to the bottom. So this was a really long, like swirly slide, and just I don't even know which direction it curved in and stuff because it was pitch black in there. So I didn't know that either. I'd say probably a quarter of the way through this slide, our luck runs out, or you could say the water on our bodies ran out from the lazy river because we just went and just stopped. Or I guess Uriel stopped first, and then all of us, like I said, we're just coming right behind him. So since he kind of made the first part of the slide wet for us, we kind of slid down a little bit easier, but once we hit where he was at, we actually just hit him. Like, we all just collided into him and boom, 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 boom. But this wasn't like, it was just, oh, single file. Like, it's all just like, you know, it wasn't like, it wasn't like we just went down like single file or whatever and just stopped perfectly. No, this was a big old slide. I can't stress this enough. It was pitch black and there was no water. Like, I had no idea what I was looking at. I had no idea where the curves were and everything. This was the worst situation that could have happened. It was just basically a giant pile of 6 guys that just got smashed into each other at midnight in a closed top water slide without running water. Yeah, it was pitch black. Just put yourself in my shoes. When you're sandwiched between a bunch of guys and like you just don't even know like where your own limbs are and stuff, it's really weird. It's like really weird. You don't want to like move. Like, yeah, you're probably thinking, oh, like just go down the slide or whatever, like crawl down it or walk down it or whatever. It was harder than it looked to like get out because we all were just piled into each other. So when something like that happens, you don't want to move around, because since I couldn't see anything, I don't know if right next to me there's, you know, a man and the rest of him right here. So I didn't want to like move at all. So this was me. I was like, all right, guys, like get out of here somehow. And all of us didn't want to move because we all didn't want to like touch each other because it was just weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, keep in mind, 6 dudes skinny dipping together, yeah, no, that's cool. Like, that's straight. We can do that. But like, we didn't intend on this happening. So that was where it was like, let's not do this. And so I remember one of my friends, he's always been the one to not be afraid of his body in any way, shape, or form. So he decides to just make this even more uncomfortable than it already is. And my brother was the first in the clump of people or whatever, because he went down first. But so he starts opening his legs on my brother like this to just make him even more uncomfortable. And my brother elbows him where you usually don't like to get elbowed. And so he's just like in pain. Yeah, my brother elbows him because he's like, stop, get your stuff off of me. So I'd say this whole entire situation where we, you know, came up to the slide and pulled ourselves in and then all got stuck in a clump of dudes, to the second that we actually got out of the slide was probably like 3 or 4 minutes. And it was not the 3 or 4 minutes that I wanted. When I go down a water slide, or when anyone goes on a water slide, you're expecting, yay, let's go down and put my hands in the air and woo! No, I was trying to keep my hands as close as I could to myself, and I was not all woo. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? I don't even remember how it happened because it was pitch black, but we managed somehow to just pry ourselves out of there and just like scrape our gross dried up bodies out of that slide. We got out of the slide, and there's obviously like the pool that like catches people at the bottom of water slides, so we're just like in that pool and we're all just like, what the heck just happened? And so from there you would have thought that we would have just been done, but honestly we just went around to all the other slides and all the other pools again, and we just kept swimming. So yeah, that night was definitely, even though all that happened, I'd still say that was a really fun night. It was awesome. Besides that part in the slide, you could say we all got much closer that night, and I am still close to all those guys. But so things to learn from this, I'd say, if you're gonna go down a closed top water slide at midnight naked, make sure that the water's running on the slide and your night will go a lot better. Other than that, I'm gonna just end it on a lit song again. Let's end it on a dope song. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ha!
Oh, you, I miss you.